explain a topic on analysis of a RMS line current ripple using the notion of a stator flux ripple. Here we will see the inverter states and voltage vectors of a two-level VSI. This is a space vector plane. It is a revolving vector and have to sample it every time. If a sample falls in this vector, active vector 1, the active vector 1 which is shown by plus minus minus at VDC, and we will use active vector 1, active vector 2 which is shown as plus minus, and null vector includes minus minus that is represented as 0 and plus that is represented as 7. These both are called null vectors. These are included to produce the average vector. Now we will see the reference vector in the sector 1. This is what we get: a active vector 1, active vector 2 and a null vector, and they have to be applied for times t1, t2 and tz. We will see how we will calculate the t1 and t2 and tz. Like shown here, we have V reference Ts is equal to V1 T1 plus V2 T2 plus Vz Tz. Ts is equal to T1 plus T2 plus Tz. Similarly, this is called as a volt second balance. We have T1 is equal to V reference sine of 60 degree minus alpha into Ts divided by VDC sine 60 degree. Then similarly T2 is equal to V reference sine alpha Ts divided by VDC sine of 60 degree. Tz is equal to Ts minus T1 minus T2. This is how we calculate dwell times for active vector 1, active vector 2 and null vector. Now we will see the conventional space vector PWM. We use both the null states, that is represented as 0 and 7, which includes minus 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 plus plus plus. The null vector can be applied using two different zero states: minus 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 wherein all the both bottom devices are on, plus 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 is used wherein all the top devices are on. Let's start from minus minus minus, which is represented as 0. All the bottom devices are on. If we switch our phase after a tz by 2 seconds and you reach here, that is represented as plus minus minus, which is shown as active vector 1, we stay here for t1 seconds and then switch to y phase and we reach here, that is plus minus, and it is called as the active vector 2 state. We stay here for t2 seconds and we switch the b phase and you reach here and we stay here for remaining tz by 2 seconds, and you would reverse at a plus which is represented as 7 and is called as a null vector. This is the conventional space vector PWM, which reverse back to the B phase. Now we are taking this conventional space vector PWM to evaluate RMS current ripple in the motor. Now we can look at the induction motor drive, and induction motor drive operated using voltage source inverter and switched using conventional space vector PWM, which is shown here. In the next slide, we will discuss about the error voltage vector. We can look at the space vector domain now. This is known as a V reference. We show here as a V reference is what we want to have instead of a three-phase sinusoidal waveform. We are trying to apply a revolving voltage vector of a magnitude of V reference and revolving at a frequency of omega. So this is a V reference at a particular instant, which is shown at the cursor where it is shown V reference. So this is a V reference at a particular instant. At this instant, you can't apply this V reference vector because the inverter does not produce this V reference vector. The inverter produces the null vector and around 6 active vectors here, and those 4 active vectors are not useful here. Only 2 active vectors, which are plus minus minus, that is active vector 1, and plus minus, that is active vector 2, are useful here. over a small subcycle duration. Here subcycle duration, we are trying to apply this null vector and these two active vectors, and by time averaging we are trying to produce an average vector which is equal to V reference. So now if we see here, the required vector is V reference, which is shown here, but the applied vector is null vector. So there is an error vector. That error vector is equal to 0 minus V reference. So we get V error voltage is equal to minus V reference. Now we can resolve this in an alpha axis and beta axis, which is shown on the horizontal axis is called as alpha axis and vertical axis is known as the beta axis. V alpha is equal to minus V reference cos theta s, and V beta is equal to minus V reference sin theta s. So now we will see in the next slide that when the active vector 1 is applied, that is plus minus minus, so we will get the error voltage as V error voltage is equal to V1 voltage, that is the applied voltage, minus V reference voltage, and at the alpha axis we will get V alpha is equal to VDC minus V reference cos theta s. This is the error voltage along the alpha axis. Similarly, we'll see how we get the beta axis. At the beta axis, V beta is equal to 0 minus V reference sin theta s. So when the applied voltage is active vector 2, we can see when the applied voltage is at the active vector 2, plus minus is called as the active vector 2. Then we'll find the error voltage is equal to V2 minus V reference. So we'll find V2 is equal to VDC is the applied voltage at an angle 60 degree minus V reference at an angle theta s. So V alpha is equal to VDC by 2 minus V reference cos theta s, and V beta is equal to root 3 by 2 VDC minus V reference sin theta s. These are the error voltages which we are getting along the alpha axis and the beta axis. Now we will see the stationary to synchronously revolving reference frame. We have alpha axis and the beta axis, and then we form it into a DQ reference frame. So we have synchronously revolving reference frame, and this axis is called D axis or direct axis, and this is called as the Q axis or a quadrature axis. So now we'll see there is an angle called as a phi. We have V alpha and V beta. So we need to find out what is VD. So VD is equal to V alpha cos phi plus V beta sin phi. So if we know V alpha and V beta and the angle phi between the two, we can compute what is VD. We can also compute the voltage along the Q axis. VQ is equal to minus V alpha sin phi plus V beta cos phi. The negative sign is used. This is because which is opposite to the Q axis. This is what we call as a transformation from stationary reference frame to the synchronously revolving DQ reference frame. In the next slide, we will see the error voltage vector in synchronously revolving reference frame. This reference vector is one of the coordinate axis, one of the revolving axis, and called as a Q, and it revolves at this synchronous frequency omega. And D axis is going to be 90 degree behind that. So we consider an induction motor. This is the voltage applied along the Q axis, then the fluxes is along D axis. VQ is equal to VDC cos theta s minus V reference. This is the error voltage along the Q axis. Q axis is in the vertical axis and VD is in the horizontal axis. VD is equal to VDC sin theta s minus 0. This is the error voltage when we consider active vector 1, that is plus minus minus. Similarly, if we consider active vector 2 to be applied. Earlier error voltage is expressed in the form of D axis, alpha axis and the beta axis. Now we can express in terms of a d-axis and q-axis. Now what is error voltage along the axis? This will be continued. Vq is equal to VDC, that is applied voltage, cos of 60 degree minus Ts minus V reference, and Vd is equal to minus VDC sine of 60 degree minus Ts theta s. So we find that Vq is equal to 0 minus V reference is equal to minus V reference, and Vd tilde is equal to 0. Applied voltage vector is a null vector. There is no component along either d axis or a q axis, so it is 0. This completes our error voltage vector study in the alpha beta domain and a dq domain. Now we will see the stator flux ripple vector. I apply a null vector minus 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 for tz by 2 seconds. Error voltage vector is a constant and magnitude is minus v reference, and we are integrating minus v reference vector. At the end of the 0.5 tz seconds we have reached. So here I will explain how it works. We apply error voltage vector is a constant and magnitude is minus v reference vector, and we are integrating minus v reference vector. Here we can see that at the end of a 0.5 tz seconds we have reached. Now in the next state plus minus minus is applied, and reference vector is same as a v reference vector. So we can see here error voltage vector is this. The horizontal line is called as error voltage vector. This is the error voltage vector, and we are integrating that, and it will along this direction and is parallel to the corresponding active vector 1. Here we can see it is parallel to the error voltage vector. At the end of this we can see there after drawing a parallel line it will reach at 0.5 tz plus t1, and we are reached here now. And at the next stage we can apply plus plus minus, that is active state vector 2. When it is applied, it starts from 0.5 tz plus t1, and final it reaches at an instant of 0.5 tz plus t1 plus t2. We can see at the q axis, there it will reach. Then it will go back to the origin. It has to go back to the origin because of old second balance. We are trying to integrate error voltage, so the error voltage over a subcycle is equal to 0. So this is the stator flux ripple vector. Now we will see the stator flux ripple vector. This we can see the diagram which is in the triangle form. This is the q axis and this is the d axis, and we can apply a 0 state and a 1 state and a 2 state and a 7 state which are called as active vector and a null vector. This is when 0 is applied. This it becomes negative. We can see in the waveform that when 0 is applied it goes into the negative state. When 1 is applied it is moving towards the positive direction. When we apply active state 2, the xq is more or less flat. Here we can see there the xq is more or less flat. When we apply active state 7, we have divided that. We can see that when we apply the active state 7, it go back to the 0. This is the entire subcycle time t. This duration is divided as tz by 2, where we apply 0 state. This duration is the t1, where we apply 1 and it will go back to the positive state. This duration is a ZQ where it flattens. This is the 0, 1, 2 and 7. This is how the one component vector, namely the q-axis component of the current ripple vector or a stator flux ripple vector changes now. In in the initial time it is 0. We can see it is at the initial time it is 0. When 0 is applied, it doesn't change at all, and when 7 is applied, it doesn't change. In between the two, what happens, it go back about increasing. It reaches the peak at the end of the t1 and start of a interval t2, and then it falls linearly. This is how the d-axis ripple varies. RMS value of a xd, if we square it, it is 0. If we square linear portion, it becomes parabola. We can see here, and compute the area under the parabola. Area under parabola is 1/3 of the area under this rectangle. From this video, we can see that stator flux ripple vector can be resolved. That the analysis of the RMS line current ripple using the stator flux ripple is found using these kind of the stator flux ripple and the conventional PWM vector. We can find the RMS ripple analysis. So I conclude this here. Thank you.